Hello and welcome to Forgotten Frights. I'm Josh and I'm sitting here with Adam.
Hey, what's up?
Today on the podcast we are reviewing the 1982 horror film Q, The Winged Serpent. Written, directed, and produced by Larry Cohen and starring Michael Moriarty, Candy Clark, David Carradine, and Richard Roundtree. Here is the trailer.
Q is coming. Q is coming. Its name is Quetzalcoatl. Just call it Q. That's all you'll have time to say before it tears you apart. Q is coming.
All right, Adam, there was the trailer to Q, The Winged Serpent. What did you think?
I mean, I want to watch it again.
I think this the trailer speaks to kind of the twofold direction of this film. It's really like two movies jammed together, I think.
At least two.
Bare minimum,
Yeah.
two.
Yeah.
But I think your first part of this film is procedural, investigative, horror, lots of a little intense, and suspenseful. And then the second half is David Carradine with a machine gun firing into the sky.
And a stop-motion dragon flying around somewhere else.
It's like King Kong.
Yeah.
It's very much, and we'll talk all about it for this episode. This is a Larry Cohen directed film. I was very curious. I did some reading on Larry Cohen today just because it was produced, written, directed by the same guy. And I'm like, oh, so he had a vision.
Yeah.
This is a, what am I thinking of? This is a, that samurai sword vampire hunter, Kronos, the vampire hunter, Captain Kronos. This is like that weird, somebody's idea got put to film, and this is it. This is Larry Cohen's vision.
I always got the same vibe from Larry Cohen as I got from like Lloyd Kaufman from Trauma.
Okay.
Or Roger Corman. Like just, like they just did the things that they thought about, and they didn't like think too hard about it. They just like, let's just get it out there. Let's film it all, and we'll just, we'll edit it together the way we want to. But yeah.
That's Roger Corman to a T, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to film this.
Yeah.
And you're going to pay for it. Larry Cohen directed Full Moon High in 1981, The Stuff in 1985, and he wrote all three Maniac Cop movies.
Yeah.
Which I was going to ask you, have you seen the Maniac Cop?
I've seen Maniac Cop once.
Okay.
Not all of them.
I think I would be interested in doing them for the podcast because I like those movies.
I haven't seen them in a long time.
They are wild films.
Yeah.
It's like Terminator meets a Maniac Cop. I have no idea. It's crazy. They're pretty outrageous films. And the first one has Bruce Campbell.
Have you seen It's Alive?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, those are big Larry Cohen movies.
Are they? Okay.
Too.
I would
there's
be
two of those.
Interested in kind of digging into some Larry Cohen.
Yeah.
Because I've seen The Stuff, and I love The Stuff.
Yeah, it's great.
Full Moon High, I've seen it on Amazon. I will not watch that because it looks horrible.
It's I forget the father and son duo, Alan Arkin and Adam Arkin. Yeah.
Do you think it's worth watching?
It's
It just looks
I remember
very
being
silly.
kind of charming, but yeah, it's a lot of that to wade through.
Okay.
Yeah.
David Carradine was really not at his apex here. He was he still I looked at his like filmography. He'd been in like 100 movies by the time he did this, but really I found like Death Race 2000 and then a movie called Death Sport, which I just wanted to mention because I think we should watch it.
I'll watch Death Sport. Death Race 2000 is a banger.
Death Race is amazing.
Yeah.
I would watch that too.
Yeah.
Or at least review it because I've seen it before. But so yeah, it didn't seem like he was completely at his full power. The David Carradine full power. And I don't know when that is exactly because I know there is a faltering part where it's David Carradine possibly half in the bag for most of his movies, kind of just they're draping him on the set, but he's not there yet.
Isn't Kung Fu like, I mean, he peaked early. Like Kung Fu was it, right? Like he was at his powers.
Yeah, wasn't he in, maybe I'm taking David Carradine the person and kind of putting that on a pedestal like he's in, because I thought he was in like a Young Guns or something, like he was in like a prestige drama.
No, I don't think so.
Eventually.
I mean, he's been in a lot of movies.
He has.
But I just remember the original Kung Fu being like a big, like that was before my time. But then I think they did Kung Fu: The Legend Continues.
Yeah.
And he did that like in the late 80s, early 90s.
Okay.
And then people had to tell me like, oh no, there was an original show, so Kung Fu. It was pretty big.
That was like a Star Trek thing for him where he had to like come back.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. But instead of Picard, they just did Kung Fu again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So then he got the script for this, and he's like, cue the Winged Serpent. Oh, man. All right.
Oh, man, I don't want to, but I'm going to.
How much? All right. Fine. Michael Moriarty is in this. He's amazing. He's so good in this movie, Adam.
I can't say enough about Michael Moriarty. Is just, I don't want to put him on like the early Christopher Walken level, but he is... He's a weird guy.
He's a weird guy, and he's so good in this.
I can't not watch him when he's on screen. He's really, and in this movie, he's so young, and he's talking so fast that at some points he sounds like Bill Burr.
So, I just knocked over my microphone. Bill Burr, Michael Moriarty.
Yeah.
Bill Burr stole his shtick from Michael Moriarty.
I think maybe
because he's got that kind of like he's annoyed, but he's making a point.
Yeah. And he's so frenetic, and it seems like his dialogue, some of it seems, he says some things that just like, okay, definitely written. Yeah. But other things when he's talking, it's like, it sounds like he's like speaking from the heart in some of these things. So like he has an existential crisis at one point in the movie, and I'm like, I kind of feel for the guy.
Because he's also got that, I don't know what that is like a New York thing, but he's like, I'm so upset I could cry. I could cry right now.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, you could just cry. And he's like, no, that's not manly.
Yeah.
And it's very honest. It's but yeah, no, he's great in this, and I think he really makes this film. Yeah. Because I love seeing David Carradine and stuff. But he really is, David Carradine is like he's a one-trick pony. You see him and he's kind of like, all right, well, here we go.
I think seeing David Carradine and Richard Roundtree have scenes together, I think seeing this pyramid of actors, you got Carradine, Roundtree, and Moriarty, and they all interact with each other at some point, and it's great.
It is.
It's just great.
When they when he takes Moriarty out for... when David Carradine takes Michael Moriarty out for coffee, they were leaving, and I was like, where's the buddy cop movie of these two? Like, their chemistry is great.
Yeah.
And I like that. One of the things I like about David Carradine is that he laughs and stuff in this movie. Like he's kind of like a hard boiled cop a little bit, but he's like laughing and like joking too. And I'm like, I like seeing that because it's like a weird. It's just one of those weird character things you don't see. Yeah. Where it's like, oh, he's like a badass, and so he has to be serious all the time. And he's just kind of like doing his job, and I like that. It's good. It's good characterization.
At one point, Roundtree, or I guess his character's name is Sergeant Powell, but they're in the.
I will not be defaulting to character names.
Okay, Roundtree at one point is like, he's like, yeah, you're the best, Shepard. Yeah. And then Carradine just turns around. He's just like it's very non sequitur. Like he didn't know what to say.
Michael Moriarty at one point is just like, oh, this is BS. You guys aren't even doing your thing. And David Carradine once again turns around and he's just like, he starts making like a bird noise.
He does. It does seem like people are having a good time on set.
It's like it's good. Last thing, I mean, just as even I put it in the overview, Adam, I think this is like a hidden gem. This is good stuff. There's I think the setting of the New York setting, I think they capture pretty well. It just feels like big city. It definitely, you can tell in some scenes where they have like the same extras are running back and forth kind of toward the end. Yeah. But I think you also like when he's running and he's got like the diamonds or whatever after the
oh yeah, you see that's early 80s New York, and it's so just good. You see people. I saw some kids in one scene. I think Moriarty's making a phone call at the payphone. Yeah. And there's some kids in the background and they're just like high-fiving and like dapping each other up and it's like they're getting together to like play ball or something. And it's like it just happens to be caught on film.
This
and that's
is cool. Like it's the execution of this film works really. It's like it was executed. Larry Cohen thought of this idea, he had it in his head, and the execution matched what was in his brain.
But it made sense. There's also that guerrilla filmmaking though, where it's like he had to get the shot, but you're getting all these people. You got people looking directly into the camera because they're like, I'm on TV, like old ladies. And it's oh, it's so great to see. It's such a time capsule.
It is.
Yeah.
Would you like, well, we definitely need to break down the film and we'll get in there, but do you want the taglines?
Yeah.
All right. First one is, Q is here. That must have been, they must put the Winged Serpent on the poster and said, Q is here.
Maybe.
Which is a little strange. 2, you'll just, these two are pretty, there's only 3. So 2 is, you'll just have time to scream before it tears you apart.
All right.
Number 3 is, so far has been like, I think it's my favorite tagline out of any movie we've done, and I will explain. But it says, its name is the Quetzalcoatl. Just call it Q. That's all you'll have time to say before it tears you apart. It's hiding that I love this tagline because it hides the difficulty of people saying Quetzalcoatl. So it's like, so just call it Q.
Yeah.
Because that's all you'll be able to say. Right. Like, they're just kind of like hiding the fact that it's a hard word to say.
Yeah, yeah. But also, it's like it sounds like a creepy monster name that, it's like, oh, what is that going to be?
Oh, you can't say it very well? Don't worry about it. Just call it Q.
You'll be dead before you say it. It's so long to say.
I love it. All right, so we can dig in the film if you're ready.
It happens very early, and I just want to make sure we hit on this. Mm-hmm. The window washer at the very beginning, he actually says, before he gets decapitated by Q, he says, "You're my girlfriend. I love you."
That's the
he says this to a lady through a window
who's not listening or can't hear.
She can't hear him. But it's just what is that? Not ASMR, but it's when you had the lines afterwards.
Oh, it's voiceover. It's like
ADR.
ADR. Yeah.
But it's just him. "You're my girlfriend. I love you."
That's so funny. It's like a top-down shot too. So it's like him sitting and he's like wiping the window. Yeah, just like pretty clearly
making hard eyes at her. Yeah.
Hey, bring that guy in. He needs to voice over this part real bad. There's an earworm in our house right now because of this stupid song. It's on TikTok, but the guy says "baby girl" and he like screams it out, and then there's a pause and he goes, "I love you." And so now if I say loud, if I go "baby
love
girl," then my daughter or my wife in the next room will be like, "I love you," like real quick, and very reminiscent of that as well.
That's great.
So the film follows a petty swindler, Moriarty, who accidentally intrudes in a case involving a winged deity monster that poses a threat to New York City. He is the only person who has information that can help the police to stop the creature, which I think is, I guess, yes and no. It's a bit odd to me. Well, not even odd. I think it's the cops never would have found the nest. It just feels like that.
I mean, he's the only one that has the information that will help.
That's fair.
Bring it down.
It feels like Q is so massive, you would just one day be like, "Where is its hideout?" And then you just look straight up.
Oh, it went into the Chrysler building.
Yeah. Oh, it's in the top of the Chrysler building. Oh, because I watched it with my eyes.
Yeah.
That's how I knew.
Let's go kill it.
How did you know that's where its nest was? I used my eyes to look at the sky, and I followed the big object to the Chrysler building. Oh. Okay.
I guess that's one way to do it.
That's one way to do it. The film opens in New York City, as we mentioned. There's a window washer, and he's working high above the city. The lady, we follow a girl who walks into her office space, and the window washer is out there. What does he say?
"You're my girlfriend. I love you."
And she's like, "Oh man, he's such a creep. Here's a creepo," and she's like waving at him, but he can't hear her.
And she's on the phone with somebody while he's, "You're my girlfriend. I love you."
Yeah, and then he looks up quickly because he hears a noise and something comes down, and you hear a crunch, and then we cut to inside the office. She screams, and a headless body hits the window.
Just starts gushing blood onto the window. Yeah,
pretty
ruining all the cleaning that he just did.
Yeah, he just cleaned the whole window.
Yep.
And now it's covered in blood.
Yep.
So, and then I don't. Does his body fall off, or they just find the blood in the corpse from up above?
I think
we cut to Roundtree and Carradine are down below investigating.
They just keep saying that his head just flew away because they're this. I don't know if they're. I don't think his head. I think Q ate his head. So I think it's just like, oh no, the guy's just dead. Yeah.
Because Carradine's like, yeah, something like maybe something, or I should say, Richard Roundtree's like, well, what do you think? Like, it's a headless body up there, and Carradine's just kind of like, well, maybe something fell from above and just took his head clean off.
Yeah.
And just ignoring like the bite marks, the bite pattern that his head.
Roundtree's like, what do you think happened? And Carradine's like, caw.
Yeah. Who cares? We're all getting paid. We're having a good time. I love you. We then, right after that, we pretty much go right to a skinned body that's laying in a bed.
Yes, there's the body's been flayed of all of its skin. There's a bellboy in the room looking at the body, and the cop's like, you don't want to see this. Yeah. And the kid's like looking directly at it. It's like,
It's pretty gruesome looking body too. It's pretty cut up. I said the skinning body budget on this film was very high. Right when they start talking about, they're like, oh yeah, they would like skin bodies. We'd cut to like a guy with like a big fake sword, and he's like removing flesh from somebody's cheek, but it's just done in a way that looks pretty gross.
Yeah. I think we go to the Chinese restaurant with the bank robbers talking about things after that.
Yep.
Yep.
I did have one question was, so they kind of come to the conclusion that this murder was, they're getting a hint that it's like ritualistic in nature, like the entire body was flayed and skinned.
Yeah.
They're not to the point yet where they're like, okay, this is a ritual, but there was some kind of.
It's a little herky-jerky because the guy gets his head bit off while he's cleaning the window, and then it goes right to a guy who's flayed.
Yeah,
it's just it's a huge city, and they're like,
we have to connect these in our brain,
it's only it's only 90 minutes.
It is. The one question I had though is like, it's interesting to me that you have Richard Roundtree and David Carradine, and they're detectives, and then you have a corpse. Like 7, like flayed in a bed, and they're both not in the scene.
Yeah.
And I was like, is Carradine like contractually obligated? He's like, I'm doing 5 days.
I'm only showing up if you give me 2 coffees and corned beef on roll.
Can't you see I'm hungover? So it's just funny that he wasn't. I'm like, it seems like he should be there.
Yeah. Yeah.
To be like, oh, we got like a flaying.
I haven't. I watched this movie just on a whim years ago, and I was just like blown away by it. And I remember the first time I watched it, I'm just like, they're probably not going to have a lot of scenes with like Roundtree and Moriarty. And I was so surprised. And watching it again, like I couldn't remember all the crazy stuff that happened. This was one of the best rewatches.
It's because when they're there, it's Carradine and really anybody. He's got good chemistry with everybody in the film, so it is a joy to watch him on screen. So we now jump over to Jimmy who is Michael Moriarty.
Yeah.
He is having lunch with some like crooks, some soon-to-be bank robbers.
I wish I would have looked these guys up because I'm sure I've seen them in a million.
So I pulled a little chunk from one of them because one of them is it's John Capotis.
Okay.
And John Capotis is Aguado in Ace Ventura.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. He's the one who, when Ace Ventura comes into the police department, Aguado steps on the cockroach, and then he goes, "How you gonna solve this one?" And they all start laughing. And I wrote the quote down because it's so funny.
Yeah.
John Capote steps on and he says, "How's he gonna solve that one?" And Ace Ventura says to him, he says, "First, I establish a motive. In this case, the killer saw the size of the bug's dick and became insanely jealous. Then I would lose 30 pounds porking his wife." So as soon as I saw him, I was like, "Oh, he's that guy."
That's tremendous.
It's really great.
That's the first Ace Ventura?
That's the first Ace Ventura.
That must be the funniest line in that whole movie.
So
damn.
I remember laughing about that.
Wow.
But yeah, so he's in there. He's like, I guess they're like mafioso.
They're pulling a job, and Quinn Moriarty's talking about how he's the driver and he doesn't use a gun, and this is how much he wants to make. And the guys are like, "You're gonna make half of that. Yeah. You haven't worked in a year."
Yeah, he's like, "I want 20%." He's like, "You get 12.8%."
Yeah, and you haven't worked in 8 months. And And
he's just gonna. They just need a driver, I think, or Michael Moriarty's like, I just want to be the driver. Like I just
basically he's like, I want hands off. I want to drive and make the money. And he basically says, I'll let you know if I'm going to be in. And then the mafioso guys are like, well, you better let us know pretty soon. And hey, easy on the cashew chicken. You're eating too much cashew chicken.
And then we cut to a roof where there's like a guy who's like. He's like spying on a girl with a telescope, and she's like sunbathing.
Yeah.
And then Q, the Winged Serpent, comes out of the sky and like scoops her up.
And there's so much. Did you notice how much suntan lotion was on the ground? Like it looked like after she got picked up by Q, like it looked like a bucket of suntan lotion was on the ground. And then
she just laid down. Maybe she was just caked in it.
Well, she took her top off while the guy's looking at her through the telescope. And when she takes the top off, it goes to the guy watching through the telescope, and he's like, yeah! Like he was so excited.
I knew it one day. This
finally.
It finally pays off. Did we see Q like grab her with his, because there's a couple of times in this movie where they have a giant like claw prosthetic that comes into frame and like grabs somebody.
Yeah, in the pool scene for sure.
Yeah, so that one later, and then with Roundtree later.
Yeah, which seemed like such a senseless death.
I don't know why that.
That seems weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
So here's like one of the best scenes coming up, right?
Where Jimmy goes to see his girlfriend at the bar.
He applies for the yeah.
So Moriarty goes to see his girlfriend at the bar.
This is right before the job, before they're going to do the diamond job.
And he like goes in there, and the guy's like, "What do you want?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, no, I want to try out music and play some music, and you guys can hire me or whatever. Let's go play on this piano."
Yeah.
And
the bartender's like, "Do something."
Yeah. And he like sits down and he just starts playing like horrible. Well, he just his singing is horrible because his playing is okay.
Yeah.
But he's just like singing nonsense,
doing like jazz piano, and he's doing like
it's
scat.
very bizarre.
He's scatting.
Yeah. And then
and it goes on for a minute.
It does.
Yeah.
But David Carradine comes in during that time, and it's just kind of cutting to Moriarty's girlfriend. She's like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
And then eventually the bartender just goes over and starts the jukebox, and he's just like, "Shut up!"
Starts a honky tonk song.
Then Michael Moriarty gets up and he leaves, and as he's passing David Carradine tells him, he's like, "Hey, I didn't think that sounded too bad," and Moriarty turns around and says, "What the fuck do you know?" And then David Carradine turns around in his chair, and he's like, "I guess I don't know anything." Just a funny exchange.
It was, yeah.
So then we cut to we get to the jewelry store robbery. And they're kind of, so Moriarty's at this point, he's just like, I don't really want to be involved, kind of doing the same thing when they were eating dinner. And they're like, well, get your stuff. You're going in, grab the bag. You're going to walk out. They go in. It's very quick. I think you hear like a gunshot or something in there.
Yeah. I don't think you see a lot inside of the
No,
the
he kind of like
store.
walks in. It like cuts away. You hear like a gunshot. It cuts back, and he's walking out with a case. I think kind of a time-lapse deal.
Yep.
You get the feeling that the robbery has gone badly. He tries to start the car, and he's like, "Oh, no keys." So then he just starts walking away.
It's almost like if they instead of the movie Heat being 2.5 hours, it was like 10 minutes.
Yeah, right.
It was very very quick. Yeah.
It was, if Heat had the greatest robbery ever filmed, this one was just like, we don't have the budget for that.
And at some point, Val Kilmer like plays scat piano.
Yeah. And Robert De Niro shoots a giant winged serpent in the sky.
With a machine gun?
Yeah, with a machine gun. So Jimmy is then, not, at this point, he's just trying to lose. He goes to a payphone, makes a phone call. Howard Price, that's what I heard. I don't know if it was the guy who employed him.
Looking for his, either it's the guy who employed him or his lawyer.
Okay.
But he's running away because the cops are basically in pursuit.
Yep.
He gets into a cab. He gets to his lawyer's office building or whoever it is that he's looking for. But he tries to get into his office. An alarm goes off, and so he starts like running away. And then he's being pursued by a guard for the building. Yes,
and he ends up going to he goes to the high rise.
And he's just going up
try to get away. And he runs into Eddie Jones, who is a security guard. I don't know if you know Eddie Jones from anything.
No.
But he was the father in A League of Their Own to the like tomboy girl.
Okay. Yeah, he looked familiar.
He's been in a bunch of stuff.
Okay.
But he was in there, and then he starts following Jimmy or Michael Moriarty because he's suspiciously trying to. He goes. Michael Moriarty, in trying to escape, goes into a section that's like under renovation at the Chrysler Building.
Yeah. And
so he starts going up. Eddie Jones follows him, and then loses him up there. And then Michael Moriarty is like climbs a ladder to get up into wherever he can get to, and there he finds a giant egg.
Yeah.
It's like a massive unhatched egg, and then he's like, interesting, and goes back down the ladder, and that's when he finds there's like a eaten body. It's like a body stripped of its
basically another flayed body, but no flesh on it.
But it's like basically a skeleton, so it looks like it's been eaten. I'm guessing. I'm guessing. So now we've got Shepard or Carradine is still investigating, and he goes to an Aztec museum. I don't know what propels him to do that. Or
before that, a construction worker is he's looking for his lunch, and it's been stolen. This is one of the most mean-spirited scenes in any movie I've ever seen.
It is.
The construction worker is looking for his lunch, and the other guys are like, "Oh, maybe you lost another one," and he's just like, I can't believe you guys keep doing this shit to me, right? So then he like climbs down a ladder and he's walking across.
He's like, don't say anything about it. She told you not to say anything about it. Talking about his wife.
Yep.
He's like, it'll be fine.
So the guy gets his head bitten off by Q, and his helmet like hits the ground,
just filled with
covered in blood, and then it cuts to the boss and one of the other guys, and he's like, his wife sure makes a good tuna sandwich. I'm going to stop by and tell her sometime. It's like, the guy's dead, and you're talking about going...
There's a weird cut
losing 30 pounds pork in his wife.
The Ace Ventura diet.
Exactly.
But it cuts to... There's a weird cut where it cuts down to a group of people, and then there's just like a... There's like a leg. Did you see that?
Yeah, the same construction worker.
Okay, so just like body parts were just flying everywhere. I guess. They just didn't really.
Yeah.
That guy lost 30 pounds. Not porking anybody.
No, sure didn't.
Did remind me of the song from Ghost Keeper of the.
The old lady.
I don't remember the lyrics to the song.
Me neither. We should write these things.
It's
down.
porking and a stroking.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
So then we get David Carradine is at a museum, like an Aztec museum, and he's getting like a walkthrough. I don't know. I don't remember why he starts getting like suspicious.
It has something to do with the flayed body. And yeah. It had something to do more with the flayed body than the dragon.
Because, I think he saw the headless body. He saw the flayed body eventually. He must have. And he was like, I think this is a Quetzalcoatl. And then he goes to the Aztec museum. So the guy there kind of gives him like the rundown of like Aztec culture and how they would like ritualistically sacrifice people and use their hearts and whatever. Mm-hmm. And David Carradine's like, very interesting. And then he goes home and talks to his wife about this possible link between Aztec culture or rituals and some of the stuff that's been found in the city. There's a bit on the cult worshipping an ancient Aztec deity, which would be the Quetzalcoatl Q itself. And he learns that it's a giant flying serpent. Moriarty also goes home. And this is where he starts to realize that he has information that could be valuable to the city, but he's not acting on it yet. Yeah. And then we cut to a ritualistic killing happening in a warehouse where a guy's chest is being cut open. And again, I'm telling you, the ritual skin cutting budget is just through the roof in this movie.
I will say when Jimmy Moriarty gets to his place with his girlfriend, this seems like a really silly movie, and it is. But there's a couple of scenes where Moriarty really he has really good acting scenes in some of these movies. He's doing a great job. He has like an existential crisis, and it really shows that he has seen some things and been involved in some things in the last day where he doesn't know what to make of it. And it was good. It's very compelling.
He is like I said, he's very convincing in this film, and I don't even know that I know I've seen Michael Moriarty and stuff, but this is definitely one where he's got he's like the protagonist. He's like the main character of the film.
Yeah. And he's flawed. He's deeply flawed.
Yes. You know, to see him front and center, it's good. It's good characterization. It's very solid.
Yeah.
We then have Carradine and Roundtree are down like under a bridge, and Roundtree's like, "Hey, come take a look at this body. You're going to want to see this." And the body's like partially cut up. The chest is open and the heart is missing.
It's the shaman was sacrificing. Yeah.
And Carradine tells Roundtree kind of what he's been learning. And he's like, well, they take out the heart and they sacrifice it to the sun. And then they go back to the police department where they talk to the police chief. And they're like, I think you have to go interview some more people at the museum to figure this out. And Carradine does. The guy doesn't really give him any information. And I guess if we're going to talk like structure and writing in the film, like I don't know why he went to a museum, got a tour, left, and then came back and then interviewed another guy in the stairs.
It was just
like put it all in one.
Because they were both just like huge exposition dumps. It was a lot of just And
like the second conversation ends with the guy that's like, I don't know, but if you find it, I want to see it. Like,
dragons, I mean.
Yeah, he's like, okay.
I do want to say before he goes to the college to get more information, it just has a very quick shot of the Q, the serpent, flying through the air, and it hits a guy. Mm-hmm. There's a close up on a guy's face. He's like, ah, and then it hits the guy, and he does a front flip, and that's it.
Well, they have to show that Q's still out there attacking people.
Yeah,
you know.
Yep.
So you need a guy to scream briefly into a front flip, I guess.
Yep.
Moriarty is then he is like laying in bed when there's the mafioso guys find him again, and they start trying to kick the door down. Moriarty grabs his gun and gets out the window down the escape. This all is kind of like a miniature chase that leads to him getting captured by the mafioso guys.
Now when he's escaping down the fire escape, you start to hear a song.
What is
going,
that song?
Gotta get a gun. That's Michael Moriarty.
What? I could not figure out if that was diegetic or if that was like, was it somebody down? I was waiting for somebody down below.
No, it's just some weird prog stuff where he sang a song and it was this weird jazzy song while he's running away from the toughs.
Very strange.
When the toughs catch up to him, they give him such a punching.
They do. They make him. They work him over, and it's at this point I think even the audience you can kind of figure like, oh, this would be like a vignette in The House That Dripped Blood or in like Tales from the Crypt, where like he then leads these guys back to a place where the monsters. It's the crate in Creepshow.
Yep.
So he's going to lead these guys back to where he knows the Q is.
The toughs are basically like, we want the jewels, and he's like, oh, I know where the jewels are, and they go back to the Chrysler Building, and
which is interesting because at the end of the film it's kind of like, Moriarty, you're so crazy. Yeah. He's like responsible for like 2 graphic, violent deaths.
Yeah.
But yeah, he goes there and then he's like, oh yeah, the money's up. It's up the ladder, up in where the nest would be.
Yeah.
And first guy goes up there and there's like a crunch.
Yeah.
And then the second guy goes up there and it's.
And the guy even says before he goes up the ladder, the second guy, he's like, I'm going to go up there now.
Yeah.
He says that.
I guess.
It's like, no, what are you doing?
I don't think I would
Why
do that.
Why did you say that?
So then. On his way out, Moriarty is picked up by the cops, and then that's where it cuts to the people on the rooftop that are exercising, because we still need more scenes of like Q terrorizing people.
Yep.
So the guy like jumps. There's 3 people, and they're like doing exercises.
Yeah, the guy's just bored. He's very bored, and he's watching this girl do a bunch of push-ups.
And then he just like jumps in the pool, and as he's swimming, Q comes by and like scoops him up. And there's a great
nice claw effect.
That picks him up.
Big prosthetic claw.
Is that where we start to get the claymation bodies falling from the sky? Okay. Because he ends up getting he gets killed, but there's some like claymation miniatures that are like it's like stop motion and they're like falling. Yeah. There's a few of them, very charming.
I like them. Yeah.
And then so we cut back to Michael Moriarty in jail. His girlfriend shows up to kind of talk to him.
Paolo is just like giving him the business, interrogating him, and then they're just like having a back and forth. Moriarty and Richard Roundtree. It's pretty good. I mean, they're just like back and forth at one. Yeah, just it's good stuff. But yeah, then he gets taken to the jail cell, and then his girlfriend comes and talks to him.
Oh yeah,
and she even asks him like, "You got to tell him that you killed those guys." And he's like, "I just won't think about it."
Yeah.
He's
like, I don't have to. Yeah, and I do like the section right after this where they bring him in the room because he decides, okay, I'll tell him some information, but based on I'm going to get something out of this.
Yeah.
He has some very like real. He's like, I'm about to save you guys like hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And all I'm asking for is $1 million.
Yep.
Because he gets in this room with like David Carradine, Richard Roundtree, the chief, all these
mayor,
people, the mayor, and he's like, he makes his list of demands. If you want to know what I know that's going to stop these murders, then you have to provide me with like clemency. Like I don't want to be prosecuted for any crimes, and I want $1 million. And you guys pay the taxes on it.
No taxes. I'm sure I'll have to pay the taxes on that, but yeah.
And they're like, oh god, like this isn't. Obviously the way they wanted to go, but he's got some, this information is like so integral. It's so important that they eventually just kind of, I guess, capitulate, and they end up giving. There's like a briefcase full of money that they have, and they're like, all right, sign this over to him. David Carradine, before he gets before Moriarty gets the big briefcase full of money, David Carradine takes him out to coffee, and they kind of have this conversation, and Moriarty, he's like, if you're gonna catch this thing, you got to get a big net. Like you got to get this big like net and put it over the Chrysler Building. And Carradine's like kind of like humoring him. He's like, a big net, like to do. He's like, that's the only way you're gonna do it. And he's like, okay. So they end up giving him money. And Moriarty leads like a SWAT team with David Carradine in tow, and they're all like, except for Moriarty, they're all like to the gills with like machine gun power and like SWAT armor. And they get up into the Chrysler Building where the nest is, and they just unload on this thing like Sten automatics.
Just just.
And then the baby like hatches and comes out, and David Carradine just like unloads a bunch of bullets into.
Carradine climbs up the ladder and he's shooting the. So all the cops are underneath on the floor below, and he just opens up fire with this machine gun on this baby dragon. He must have killed 5 or 6 cops.
You would think.
And he's just
it's blind fire too. He's just kind of like, it's like right to left.
Yeah, it's like really he's not okay with it, and it's like he's closing his eyes like, oh, this hurts.
The way you're doing it, you have your eyes closed and you're like turning your head back in a way that's very close.
Like his jaws clenched like, oh,
I don't
like guns.
But
no, as far as we know, he's just a detective, and I have no idea how he becomes like the lead SWAT team member. Yeah,
I think that's David Carradine being like, I'll do the movie, but I need to be in SWAT gear at some point with a machine gun. They're like, okay, well, we have just the scene. So after they kill the baby Quetzal, they go downstairs, and Carradine tells Moriarty that because the mom wasn't the mother Quetzalcoatl wasn't there, Q, that the deal is off. He doesn't get any money, and he's obviously Moriarty's pissed off. So that's when they get that weird exchange where he's like, "Well, you don't like I don't need this. It was signed in ink." And then Carradine turns around and is just like,
yeah.
We then go from there to another ritual in progress where some cops break in, and they're just Richard Roundtree is there, and they like break up the ritual, and the guy who's like doing the ritual starts to run away, and they give chase, and they get out onto a rooftop. And then this is where they the guy who's doing the ritual disappears, and Richard Roundtree is up there with a mime. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a mime who he's an undercover cop.
Yeah,
but he's in mime makeup for a long time.
For a long time.
So there's a shot where they're driving in a car, and the mime's in the back seat. This movie has a sense of humor.
It does,
and it's very nice.
But they're on the roof, and then Richard Roundtree is kind of like, okay, well we can quarantine this area because he can't jump off, and then Q comes out of the sky and scoops him up
and then drops him,
off of the building to kill him.
Yep.
And then he's dead, and then she's like, okay,
yeah.
Well, I guess that happened. I don't know.
Yeah.
So then we get this is the full on assault. It's like this is so amazing.
It's crazy.
But this is just like the other film at this point where it's like, okay, now the investigation is done. The rituals are over. Now they have to kill Q.
Now it's King Kong.
It turns into King Kong. They get all these cops to the top of the Chrysler Building, and I think it's Carradine who says it, or the chief. I know it's Carradine. He's like, get those. He's like, everybody get to position, so we can see Q and shoot it as it flies by, and get those baskets down. And then we cut to a police officer who's got like a joystick, and it's like, and he like comes down in this basket, and he's got his machine gun loaded up. And there's just like, so they've got the place staked out, and then police officers in baskets, that are like lowered down. So then Q shows up, and it just turns into all out pandemonium.
They just start shooting at him.
So much machine gun
Q's
fire.
like throwing like some of the baskets off of the building, so the cops are dying that way. You just got like just nonstop shots of cops shooting machine guns.
It was more machine gun fire than the intro to Saving Private Ryan. It was nonstop, just so much automatic fire. And then eventually they shoot Q so much it dies.
Yeah.
Like they just it has a King Kong death where it like flies down and it lands on this other building and then like roars and then just falls over. And then we go to Moriarty's apartment. He's reading about it in the newspaper and is laughing. And then as he gets up, the guy who was doing the ritual who got away when Richard Roundtree died, he appears and puts like a knife to Moriarty's neck, and it's like, I have to kill you for reasons. Yeah. And then David Carradine busts in.
He says to Moriarty, he's like, you have to say the prayer. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I ain't saying the prayer. You just got to kill me. I'm not saying the prayer. Yeah. And then Carradine out of nowhere just busts in. Yeah. And then it takes him like 5 gunshots.
He empties the entire 6-shooter on him. He shoots him like a couple of times. The guy falls over. Then he gets back up and he like shoots him a few more times. Yep. And then he shoots him 2 more times after that. It's just such a long. Yep. And then they're both in the hallway and they're kind of just like, well, that was a crazy. Well, adventure.
Moriarty's like, that was a nice job. And David Carradine's like, well, what the fuck do you know? Yeah. It was a nice callback.
Then he's like, I don't know much. Yeah. And he like leaves. And then to get him back, he like, Carradine like flips the thing on the door handle that just says, wake me up early. And he's like, I gotcha. Then it's like, and then the credits roll. And yep. It's that song Moriarty was singing. It was, gotta get a gun. Where is Q? Then blink, blunk, blunk, blunk. Yeah, and that's the end of the film. Yeah. Anything you want to add, Adam?
No, but it was quite the watch.
It feels like we were doing a speed run on the plot, but we talked a lot at the beginning. We're already at like 45 minutes. So why don't we take a 5-minute break, or we'll just take a break. It doesn't have to be 5 minutes. I don't know why I said that. Why don't we just take a break, and when we come back, we'll do I know I said 5 minutes. A 5-question trivia game.
3 question.
A 3-question. Okay, so I had 4. We did this last time. We're like, let's do 5 questions, and I did 4 last time.
I really wanted to find 2 more, and there were a lot of options, but I just
couldn't do it. All right, so we will do a 3-question trivia, and then I've got some gaffes and some reviews, and then we'll close it out. All right?
All right.
I'll be right back. What am I doing? We'll be right back. In 4 minutes. 4 minutes and 30 seconds. All right, welcome back to Forgotten Frights. I'm Josh. I'm sitting here with Adam.
Hey, what's up?
And we are going to be doing a 3-question trivia game on the 1982 horror film Q, The Winged Serpent. Adam, take it away.
All right, this is the standard 3 questions that we normally do. So we'll start with the one that obviously is pretty obvious what this one is, but Q stands for 1. Jimmy Quinn, the man who found the egg. 2, Quetzalcoatl, an ancient Aztec god. Or 3, Q was a placeholder that stuck.
A B, Quetzalcoatl.
That is correct, yes.
Okay. So far, so good.
Second question. Shepard, played by David Carradine, his wife was David Carradine's wife. at the time in this movie.
Shepard's wife in the film is David Carradine's wife.
Correct.
This is a true or false?
True or false?
True.
It is true.
Okay, because there's a there's a scene where it ends on her like smiling, and she looks crazed.
Yeah.
At him because he like scared her, but I was just like, that's. Why else would you?
She has a serious like Age of Aquarius vibes.
Yes,
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
she's very like hippie.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like, she's got a roach clip just off scene, just out of.
Garrity's like,
yeah.
heck yeah,
He's like, yeah.
She drinks almost.
And they're like doing like this weird bird sex thing too, where he's
Yeah.
just like, actually Carradine has a lot of funny lines in this movie.
Yeah.
One of my favorites is like she's like, do you want to turn the lights off? And she smiles at him, and he's like, yeah, whatever. And he walks into the bathroom, and he's like, and it's echoey because he's in the bathroom. He's like, I'm going to take my birth control.
So Carradine's like adding jokes.
Yeah. Okay, so third and final question. You have 2 for 2 right now.
Okay.
Michael Moriarty and Larry Cohen clashed on set frequently. True or false?
I'm going to go ahead and say false, because I think that it just seems like there was a good nature in this film with the chemistry between everybody.
You got 3 out of 3.
Nice.
Michael Moriarty was in 5 Larry Cohen movies.
Wow.
They
so were like,
they met Larry Cohen hired him for this movie, and he liked him so much that they worked 5 more times.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's yeah, there's like an undeniable like feeling in this movie of like everybody was game. It seemed like even David Carradine seemed like he was game for whatever was for whatever was going on.
It's another something I was going to include as a question, but just as a funny aside, the jewelry store that they do the heist at it's called Neil Diamonds.
That's pretty great. I like that. That's good. So does that mean I choose both films?
I think that would mean you pick.
Or because you got 2 out of 4, would that leave you to choose one film as well?
I mean, 3
you're on
out
the
of 3, you
winnings.
got 100%.
But I just mean like, how do we? Do we have to? Would you have had to do 3 out of 4?
I think that we both should have stuck to the standard 5.
I think so. So do you want to choose a film and I'll choose one, and next time we have to for sure.
All right, we got to do 5.
We have to do 5 next time.
And then yes, okay.
Okay.
Whoever has the better percentage.
Do you know what film you want to do?
I'd have to look and see what our list looks like, but no.
The list I have on there is we've covered most of them.
Okay.
There's only one we haven't, and I was thinking maybe that would be the one.
Well, let's
one
not.
Of the ones we
let's
could
not. Let's not. So tired. Let's not paint ourselves into a theme necessarily,
Okay.
because this one worked out well. We did a gothic horror, and then we
Yeah.
did a very sci-fi, weird police procedural,
Very strange
thing. So no, we'll figure it out. And we'll
Figure it out.
yeah.
So we don't have to announce just yet.
No, I don't. I have no idea.
Okay. Okay, so I've got 2 more sections here. Well, 3. But gaffes, and then we've got viewers' likes and dislikes. I should say reviewers' likes and dislikes. And then our own likes and dislikes and final thoughts. So are you ready for gaffes?
Mm-hmm.
All right. The first one. When Quinn runs away from the robbery, the number of people in the streets around him change frequently between shots. This is most noticeable just after he loses the bag containing the loot. I thought I would bring that up because, yeah, like there are some overhead shots where you see it's like 10 people run in one direction and then like 10 other people, and then the same 10 people seem like they come running back from the other direction.
Yeah.
There's just like, how can we like pack in these streets? I think it if you're not like fixated on that, I don't think you really notice, but
Yeah.
I think it's a good job still. Mostly considering like with Soylent Green, where it just seemed like they had a hard time showing like city. It just seemed like there was so many. You know what I mean? It's just
Heston's like monkey walking over
Yeah,
all those
that's just
people on
right.
steps and stuff. Yeah,
like it still looked in Q. It still looked busy, and there were a lot of people.
yeah,
around.
yeah.
All right, Shepard, or David Carradine's submachine gun changes type during the raid on the nest. At the bottom of the ladder, he's carrying a Sterling with a horizontal curved magazine. In the next shot, at the top of the nest, he's clearly carrying a late model M3 grease gun with a straight vertical magazine. Just kind of funny to me because there's so much shooting. It's like they can't keep track of the machine guns. They're just like I don't even care as long as it's just like firing blanks at an alarming rate.
Give me a broom handle. We don't care.
Broom handle with a huge magazine on it. There's just it's to describe this film to somebody, you'd have to be like, yeah, it's like an intrigue murder mystery.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, all you hear is
it's
for
it's like Delta
minutes.
Force at the end.
Yes, it's crazy. During the police shootout with the serpent, the monster lands next to a cop in a basket dangling over the side. In close-ups, the cop is clean-shaven with no mustache, but the cop the creature grabs and throws to his death has a thick, bushy mustache. Clearly, there were no clean-shaven stuntmen available. It's just a perfect example of when a clean-shaven guy goes to jump through a window, and he clears the window, and he's got a full mustache, and you just see his face.
I would think that if maybe it's the same thing. Like if you see something scary, your hair goes straight up and turns white. Maybe a fully formed bushy mustache just
exploded on
his
face.
Right.
It was reminiscent of Charlton Heston turning into Ric Flair on that motorcycle in Omega Man when he was hitting the jumps. It was somebody clearly different.
Yeah.
Last one. When Shepard visits the museum to ask about human sacrifices, the curator explains Aztec practices while gesturing and referring to the displays around them. These are, however, not Aztec, but Northwestern Native American costumes and artifacts made at least 400 years later by a different culture thousands of miles to the north. However, the curator explains that the displayed artifacts are not from the Aztec culture under discussion. So I think just to kind of confusing to be like, yes, Aztec culture, not this stuff we're showing you though. Don't look at that. Totally different. A little bizarre.
Yeah.
Other than that, there was just a lot of things where just like you could see David Carradine was, like he had a different shirt on in one scene, and then he turned around and then he's wearing a different shirt. It was a lot of that stuff.
There was something I read about this movie where Larry Cohen was contracted to direct another movie called I, the Jury or something.
Okay, yeah.
And
I saw that in his filmography.
He got fired from it.
Okay.
And so since he already had the hotel booked, he's just like, check this shit out. And he just made Q.
That's incredible.
Yeah, the guy seems very fascinating. I'd like to delve more into these movies.
I think, so I think maybe the Roger Corman that you mentioned of it all probably is very fitting. It seems like he's just an economical director.
Yeah. Lloyd Kaufman, same thing. Just like, Lloyd Kaufman's got, I don't know, I don't want to delve too deep with Lloyd Kaufman because I know he's a kind of a shady character, but same thing, like very small budget and made prolific movies.
Especially these guys that can hold on to a cast like for multiple films. Like Roger Corman is just like known for, he just had like the same cast and crew.
Yep.
And it's like, we're going to make another film for $45.
Yeah, then you can go home and see your family.
That's it. But you're going to be here for 10 days. But it was literally 10 days. It was right at the 24th hour. It was like you could go home. He's like, because it was so efficient.
We don't have an ending. It's fine.
It's fine. I'll cut one into it.
I got 8 other movies I can cut that into.
You know, he probably spliced himself wearing like a cloak in one film at the ending. He's like, this movie needs more me. But yeah, I think with like Larry Cohen, it seems like I get that vibe as well, that maybe he just was very, I don't know, maybe business oriented, and where it's like, I'm going to shoot this film. I mean, Michael Moriarty did 5 films with him, isn't that what you said?
Yeah,
that's crazy. Yeah. So if you can hold on to somebody like that, that's very interesting. Okay, so this is viewers' likes and dislikes. These are from IMDb. I'm just gonna start with a 1 out of 10, then read a 5 out of 10, and then a 10 out of 10. We can kind of discuss, what reviewers thought of this film. So this is the 1 out of 10. This is from Buy High PSI. Title of the review, possibly the worst movie ever. I agree with the original viewer's summary, but am compelled to warn others of the added truth. This movie starts off bad, all caps, but steadily proceeds to get worse with every predictable twist. Billed as science fiction, it should be considered science fraction.
Predictable?
Yeah, I don't know. A giant flying lizard, dragon, is attacking New York. Along the way, a 2-bit thief, Jimmy, played by Michael Moriarty, finds the creature's nest. After he is arrested, he negotiates with the New York police commissioner and David Carradine's character, a detective, to give his demands, and he will help locate the creature. $1 million after tax, immunity, etc. It's kind of interesting that he was like predictable, and then he just said all this crazy stuff.
The craziest things you've ever heard.
They find the creature's egg and blow it up. Then the creature is killed. Then somewhere along the way, an ancient sacrificial attempt is thwarted and somehow relevant to the plot. The sacrificial priest finds the 2-bit, now rich thief, Jimmy, and tries to get him to pray to the creature's god. David Carradine finds Jimmy after searching all the hotels in New York City.
Yada, yada, yada. The same premise you've heard a million times.
And kills the demented priest-sorcerer. I don't know. When the movie finally ends, the camera close-up is on another egg that is waiting to hatch. Oh, we didn't talk about that. And presumably attack New York City again. The plot is weak, the acting weaker, and the drama missing. Other than that, a fine movie to watch if your option is being executed. I don't know what that means.
If the other option is being executed.
Okay. David Carradine should be ashamed of this piece of crap. It was like watching a train wreck. I could not look away. I don't think he needs to be ashamed of this film.
No, there's lots of other things he should be ashamed of.
Absolutely. There's a film where he's got like a robot hand. That's enough, you know. At the end, this movie ends like Critters. This has a Critters ending where it goes to like an egg and the egg opens up.
I just watched Critters, by the way.
Did you?
For the first time. That movie still rocks, man. Okay, it's really good.
I need to go back and
it's great. It's
I would
really
like
good.
to go back and rewatch that one. I think... I don't think you can say a predictable plot and then just explain the craziest.
This poor fella just wrote a review that makes people want to watch the movie even more.
That's what.
It
made me want to rewatch it. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that.
He goes into such detail too.
He does. All right, so this one is a 6 out of 10. I couldn't find a 5 out of 10, but I have a 6 out of 10 here. From Skulls Jr. Scallis Jr. When the Empire State Building was being constructed, another high-rise skyscraper, the Chrysler Building, was its rival. As far as I know, this is the only film to pay homage to the Chrysler Building. The Q stands for Quetzalcoatl, a winged serpent from the Aztec mythology. Outside of that, the Aztec connection isn't that great, but the idea of a monster living in seclusion in New York, feeding on sunbathers and the like, is rather bemusing. The film is a rarity, a police procedural monster film. The only other that comes to mind is Them, with an exclamation, with the giant ants. This one is truer to form, though not as taut. Entertaining, a good rainy day film. I can see that as a rainy day film. Oh, the other thing with the previous review, too, is he mentioned the rituals tied to the Q. I agree with that. I don't think you really need the ritual aspect in the film. I think it's interesting, but that's its own film.
You know, I agree. I don't think you need it, but I like that it's wedged in there because there's so much crazy stuff wedged in this movie.
I think that's also fair because this movie is insane.
Even you said it's like the chest cutting and the cheek cutting budget is way. It's great.
So because I guess in one direction you could go. The movie is mostly about the ritualistic killings, and then you lead up to they go to a cave and find Q.
Yeah.
And then they have a battle, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So most of the film is like police procedural homicide, and then it ends with a big crazy monster.
It's like Seven if Kevin Spacey had...
If Kevin Spacey was
supernatural powers at the end, yeah.
Or if he was a Quetzalcoatl. He just walks in the police department. Yes, I am part dragon.
I'm a real creep.
I am a creep, but I'm also a dragon. A winged serpent. Yeah, I don't. I think this movie is crazy, and I guess I'm okay overall with the sacrificial thing.
Yeah.
But it is like because we kill the beast and then we go back and we do like another thing.
Yeah.
It's like the movie already ended, and then it's like now we also have to kill the sorcerer priest or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just like a little. It's like it could be a little bit more concise, but
it could. But it's
film.
So nonsensical that it fits. I don't know.
Okay, and then lastly, there's a 10 out of 10 review from Storm Sorter, titled "Truly Worthy of That Overused Status." Quote, classic. I've seen no end of monster on the loose films, and the fact that Q is one of the very best of them. A terrifying prehistoric winged beast starts snatching people from New York, whilst there are occult murders involving an ancient Aztec god. Whilst there are. As if the NYPD haven't enough on their plate, there's a bank robbery in which a put-upon small-time crook loses the money and then finds a giant egg on top of a skyscraper. You're right, this movie is crazy. I forgot. I'm like forgetting these things. What sets this film apart from the hundreds of other monster movies is its genuinely tense atmosphere, its characters, its haunting scenes, which really do stay with you, its well-written and witty script, its great views of New York, and its monster, which really does have a life and character all of its own. I do haunting scenes. I guess maybe the flesh cutting and the corpse.
Or I mean, maybe he means haunting scenes like just Michael Moriarty going off existentially in his apartment, or when he's talking about what he wants from just I want these demands for. Yeah, I guess that's not necessarily haunting, but there are scenes in this movie. I remember rewatching this movie after we decided we were going to watch it, and I remember it's so much more than what you expect. You look at the poster, or you just cue the Winged Serpent. Looks like something.
I thought it would. Yeah, see, and I thought this movie would be like a weird shamanistic thing.
Yeah,
I just had a totally different. Like I thought it would be like a more like spiritual film.
Yeah,
and it's just like
it's like a police procedure.
It is. It's like a crime movie.
And there's so many little things in this movie that I've only seen it a couple times where it's like. I knew once I started watching it again, I'm like, oh yeah, all this crazy stuff happens, and I don't know. It's just it's a joy to watch. It's a fun movie.
David Carradine has also one thing I wanted to address is that I do love him in this film. I do like him in this film. Love is a strong word. I do like him in this film, but he does like that scene where there's like the flayed corpse in the bed. Mm-hmm. Carradine should have just like walked on scene like eating toast. You know what I mean? Like it's very like blasé and flippant. He just kind of like one of those again.
No skin, eh?
Yeah. Well, all right. Guess we'll have to go get the machine guns loaded
or
up.
He should be eating a hot dog like Skinless Frank, huh?
Making jokes about it. And then he's like, oh, this dog is so good.
Walks out of the hallway. I'm going to take my
what was it?
I forget the joke he made earlier, but
which one? The machine gun?
No, where before him and his wife get. I'm going to take my pregnancy pill. What?
Yeah. I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take my
birth control pill.
Yes.
Worth it.
I gotta take a wicked deuce, and then he leaves. Bye, Mr. Carradine. So last thing is just likes and dislikes. I think just kind of going over what works, what doesn't work for you.
I'm trying to think of what I dislike about this movie.
Do you want me to start?
Yeah, go ahead.
Starting with a dislike, I think Q looks bad. I think the stop motion is not well done.
Yeah.
And I think it's obvious. I mean, it's. The best of Roger Corman still has things that it's like you can see the zipper.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think but I think I think it's a dislike, but I think it's still that also works in my likes. I'm somebody who I love Star Trek, the OG series,
right.
And I'm not watching the Gorn because I think it's the best looking thing ever.
Yeah.
I'm watching it because it's charming and I think it's interesting. And so the stop motion, while I don't think it, I can't honestly look at that and say, looks great. This is fantastic. Like it doesn't look good, but it's also charming to me. And it reminds me of like Jason and the Argonauts, the Ray Harryhausen stuff.
Yeah.
So I could say, if this is a film that's supposed to be menacing, I guess, and like there's supposed to be some scary stuff going on, you can't have your monster like look like something my daughter created out of like Play-Doh, flying through the air. But with that being said, because of what this movie is and how it's executed, I'm totally fine with it. Like I don't really, it's not. I wasn't once like, oh my god, look at Q. It's so it's more so just kind of like, oh okay, like it's just. Larry Cohen's working with, what he's got, and he hired Michael Moriarty and David Carradine.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's got like a huge budget that's going to attract. That. So, but yeah, I mean, odd choice to go with stop motion. I don't know, what else you could have done, but yeah, really outside of that, the story moves crazy fast.
Yeah.
I think I like that it's Michael Moriarty's story, but I wish there was more Carradine investigating stuff. because while I like that boardroom scene where he's making his demands, it does kind of go on a little bit longer than I wanted to. Where you could have David Carradine going and like shooting another sorcerer, or like fighting some like cultists somewhere. I would just but like everything else in the movie works so quickly. Like it really does go from like, we found some dead bodies. All right, unload your machine guns, guys. Like that happens very quickly. So
yeah, I
do appreciate the pacing in this film.
Yeah, I guess I would say the creature effects doesn't bother me so much. I don't know. From the first time I saw it, it's just like once you see what it is, I'm just like, all right, this is what it's going to be.
Yeah.
And there's some artistic flair too. Like there's one scene where Q is flying through the city and you see his shadow on a building. Kind of cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's especially for somebody who's a filmmaker who doesn't have a big budget.
Yeah.
This must be very inspirational. Where it's because it's still, you can tell. Okay, yes, it's a guy backflipping once Q flies by, but it's like you have to throw that shot in to show that there's still a big monster around without showing the big monster because you can't afford it. So that's kind of cool. I think Richard Roundtree's death was pointless. Like, I don't understand like him being such a main component in all these exposition scenes, and then it's just like, okay, we're just going to throw him out the building. It wouldn't have mattered whether he lived or died, so I don't know why he didn't live.
Larry Cohen was like, we have Richard Roundtree for 5 more minutes. Quick. Grab the giant talon foot thing and bring it onto screen.
Yeah, and then, I mean, the acting by Moriarty's great. And like I said, I loved seeing Carradine, Roundtree, and Moriarty in scenes, and I think the movie, also seeing that, like I said, it was like a time capsule of New York at that time.
Yeah.
It just watching the people like act naturally, watching people run by with cameras and they're kind of like smiling.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know. It's very cool.
Everybody who also was picked up by Q and then thrown or like dropped, they look like the villain from RoboCop, the first one at the very end, like the falling with the giant arms when he falls out the window. They're all like, there's this weird like claymation thing going on.
Yeah.
But they all had it where it's like Richard Roundtree, his like arms and legs were like 8 feet long, and he's like, like
and they kind of disappear as they fall closer to the building. Yeah.
And I actually like that. I thought it was like, what a weird choice to make, because you don't have to show them falling.
No.
They were like, we gotta see this.
It's ambitious, though. It's ambitious to say, okay, we're going to film a monster dropping a human being. For like $20.
Larry Cohen for sure was like, so the ending, we could do like a King Kong thing, and the guy was like, yeah, but it's going to look worse. He was like, okay. I'm signing off on that. Anything you want to add about Q the Winged Serpent, Adam? I think it was a great choice. I had a great time watching the movie.
I think it's maybe the first line in the movie. I just love "You're my girlfriend, I love you."
Vera, what is the baby girl? Huh? What is the baby girl?
I love her.
Yes, I told you. All right. So with that being said, I guess we will decide what movies to watch in the future. I already think I know which one I want to watch, but I will. We can talk about that because I don't want to. It's a little bit more modern, not super modern, but maybe I kind of like this balance of doing something 1970s versus doing something 1960s, or I guess it would be 1970s versus 1980s. It was kind of a nice balance.
Yeah,
because we've definitely done like a 1963 and then like a 1967.
Yeah,
and they're both just in that guy. I don't mind. I don't care. But it's still like they're both, close.
Little varieties.
A little bit of, yeah. Q is not like The House That Dripped Blood.
They're both very different films.
So.
Very, very different.
Okay, yeah. So with that being said, we will be back with 2 new films in a few weeks. So stay tuned, and good night and good fright.